Well, Drew Barrymore surprised Katherine Heigl by giving her a dog bowl with Liam Neeson's face on it. You heard that right. Katherine Heigl has a dog named Liam Neeson, and so Drew Barrymore blew her mind by giving her a dog bowl with Liam's face at the bottom. I guess now when Katherine's dog is taken for a walk, he can also hope to be taken while he eats. Now here's Amy to confirm this reporting.
At no point did I know where that sentence was going.
Which one, the third or fourth?
Drew Barrymore gave Katherine Heigl a dog bowl with Liam Neeson's face on it.
Yeah, it was. I've been getting this. I have this new news source. It's called Entertainment Weekly, I guess, or entertainmentweekly.com. And they have a lot of these sort of stories like this. So I can sort of stay abreast of kind of like I'm sort of in like I love entertainment news. And so this was really kind of.
They're perfect for that.
Yeah, so this is it had you just I don't tell me, did this make it on your radar at all?
It really didn't. Was it, I assume, on her talk show?
Yeah, it was on Drew's News, which I think is like the first segment on the Drew Barrymore show. But Katherine Heigl, you should have seen her face. They have the stills of it, and Katherine Heigl basically has a full open mouth, and she's screaming to the heavens in delight because she got this dog bowl. So
weren't Carl and Kyle on the Drew Barrymore show in their underwears at one point?
Oh my God, you just brought a memory flooding back to me. People say I don't, or we said we don't have memories, and then you just called a huge memory from the deep. And yeah, I think wasn't it Valentine's Day? And they came out with Valentine's boxes or something in their underwear, and they said, Drew, we've got a treat for you or something.
Yeah, I liked that.
Me too. That was awesome. Drew's making news for sure. And so, and so, yeah, I mean, in Katherine Heigl, it seems like she really enjoyed this
Do you
experience.
think Katherine Heigl can come back?
After Judd Apatow and Seth Rogen besmirched her name after
they should have her on the studio.
I think so. Oh my God, yeah. If Seth Rogen wanted to be sort of meta or something, he could be like, he could do a sort of olive branch to Katherine and have her in season 2. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, like maybe there could be a meeting about, they could be like, I heard she's difficult or something, and then like something horrible could happen. Yeah.
I heard they're difficult. And then maybe if Seth Rogen wanted to turn it on its head, he'd be like, I heard she's difficult as hell. And then when they get to set or whatever, Katherine Heigl's just like a pure delight, and she's skipping around. She's got that Liam Neeson dog bowl or whatever. He was subverting, say what you want about the studio, but there was definitely, he was kind of building on some entertainment narratives, and using those as sort of fodder for satire.
One could say that is the angle of the show. Remember, what's her name from Full House that got in trouble and went to jail?
Of course, Kelly Loeffler. Okay, you want me to look
Laughlin?
It up? Yeah,
Lori Loughlin.
Lori Loughlin. I'll never forget, because when I was watching Full House, and it would be like starring Lori Loughlin, and it was them all in the convertible.
Mom of the twins.
Yeah, she's great.
She did that self-deprecating bit on Curb, and I thought that was like a perfect PR move back, like to get back.
Oh, he was so great. Larry was so great at getting that. Yeah, of course, the exact same thing. He was like, do you want to poke fun at yourself? And she was like, ha ha, yeah, I can be sort of a part of the joke. Did that go well?
I mean, I haven't seen her in anything since, but when she did it, I was like, that's a good move.
He tried, I don't want to talk about this too long, but he also did that for Michael Richards. I don't know if that worked well. I don't think that worked very well either. It didn't really redeem his career in any way.
Yeah. My parents saw, I forget what play it was, but they saw Jason Alexander in a play recently, and Michael Richards was in the audience.
No way!
Supporting friends.
Be careful, Michael Richards, being around a bunch of people in a live environment. My God. He's I won't say this for very long, but that's been consistently ranked one of the worst stand-up sets of all time.
Did not go well.
No, it was horrible. He really, he blew it up there.
Clubbed. Bombed.
Well, speaking of the opposite of whatever a bomb is, or speaking of the opposite of flopping, I think that this news probably deserves a little bit of Turtle Time attention.
Yes.
We woke up, I would say yesterday or 2 days ago, actually. And I saw something on my phone that I was stunned by. I saw taxi cabs. I saw I heard horns honking. I saw tall buildings. And
I
I go,
saw Lady Liberty's flame.
I saw Lady Liberty's flame shining in pure beauty, resplendent upon the seas. And then I go, what's this? Next gen in my sea? Roni? No. It said City Life activated. And then it showed the Statue of Liberty. And it said, when we get done sending it in the summer house, or once you're done sending it in the summer house, there's only one place else you need to send it. And then it said New York City. And so it was kind of like, don't you think it was sort of a huge clue to this being a spin-off for Summer House?
Definitely, which we have gotten confirmation of. I just checked the post and it looks like you commented, wow, my dreams have come true.
Oh my God, it shows that?
I think because I follow you.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh my God. Oh, good. I'm glad I said something nice there. It's
Aaron Leachy commented, that's my girl at Lynn's Hubs. I'm like, why are they so attached to the hip? I'm sick of it.
Well, because a little bit of it was, I think, there was a little bit of like, let's throw each other this sort of theoretical lifeline where it's like if Lindsay did want to gravitate towards being on Roni, if this opportunity hadn't developed, Aaron's like, look at us. I'll take the buzz from you. You take the buzz from me. That's kind of what's that called? Not the best, like, it could be a pure, beautiful friendship. I'm sort of casting it in a negative light.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's beautiful, but now Lindsay Hubbard gets her own outlet now. It's called In the City is the working title. What'd you think about that?
Right. Is that that's all it's called?
I think that when they were putting up the film signs around New York City, they were using the working title of In the City, but I do not think that's what it's going to be called because I'm going to be honest, I think that's a horrible title.
Yeah. Do you think it'll be like Summer House : In the City? I feel like they want people to know that it's Summer House.
I think it's going to have summer or Summer House, but the problem is if they don't film in the summer, then that's going to be hard because Truly Original is going to want to film Summer House in the summer, and I don't know if they're going to be able to keep the summer if they're not actually filming. So I don't know what this title is going to, filming in the summer. So I don't know what the title is going to be. I think that they're scratching their heads to think of what's the best way to describe this show, which is an extension of Summer House.
Yeah. So far we know it's Kyle and Amanda, Lindsay Hubbard, and then freaking Andrea and his wife.
Yes. Lexi Sundin.
Okay.
Andrea Denver, Lexi Sundin, and then Carl is the one who is refusing these calls, saying, don't confirm me officially yet. But if I was predicting, I think Carl is going to take this thing. Unless they want Carl to be sort of the leader of the other Summer House. And he's like, West and Jesse, I'm deputizing you both as my heads of the party house, but I'm going to keep an eye on you from above in the big bedroom to make sure you guys all party. But if I was predicting, he's going to want to go to this other the spinoff, I think, with all of his friends.
I think his place Soft Bar opens like today.
Oh my God! Congratulations, Carl! It had a week. It had a week late because he said I think the water was starting to like overflow or something. It's like kind of one of those. I think it happens in New York City sometimes. The water starts flooding or something. But he said, "Don't worry." 7 days later, and then that was just yesterday. I think Soft Bar opened.
Yeah, so I assume he would want to incorporate that business into the show as much as possible, which would be easier in a city show.
Totally. I think there's no part of me that thinks Carl is like, I don't want to be a part of this show. It's built for him. It's a summer house. It's the valley, for Summer House cast members. This is the pasture. This is the place for retirement from Summer House to keep that an under 42 experience. They want to keep that party centric, silly hookups, relationships. And then they're like, we're granting you this beautiful opportunity to live out the rest of your days on a reality television show just built for you. Can I read the log line to you? Do you care?
Please.
In the city that never sleeps, which they put in parenthetical, it says New York City, a group of New Yorkers, that makes sense. It navigates the biggest transition of their lives: marriage, parenthood, reinvention, and the reality of growing up without growing apart. But it says ... Can they have it all, or will they need to choose between the lives they've built and the futures they never saw coming?
Huh.
So
I
it's sort
mean,
of like a little bit of a question mark there. It's like, will they be able to live their lives?
will they survive? I'm just like, hey, if this means I get twice as much of some version of Summer House, I am pleased as punch. That's all I want all the time.
Me too. I agree. I mean, yeah, have we said explicitly this is the best thing that's ever happened for Summer House fans? This is great news, and you know that Kyle is still going to want to peek his head back in on the Summer House and say, I hope you guys are treating this house well. I used to be the god of partying here. I'll come in for one weekend, but then I need to go back to the city and finish my Loverboy presentation that I'm working on. So it's going to be seamless between them.
Yeah, it's kind of like they used to show the city way more back in the day. Like it would be like work hard, play hard, and then they sort of strayed away from that. And now it's like it'll be split off. I'm also proud of us that like we were covering Summer House before its version of Scandival. Like we were telling people, you got to be watching this show. It is awesome. It's the best show, low key. And then we got our Summer House Scandival moment, like to the breakup, and what a treat for us.
I know.
As day oneers.
I know. I'm so proud of us. I say that every day. I say to myself, I'm proud of Amy and I for everything we've done. And Summer House does seem like it has risen in esteem for the last 2 or 3 seasons that we've been covering it. And now it's like the holy grail of under 42s. So I'm proud of everyone. This is a perfect transition for Lindsay Hubbard. It was like it was created for this next stage of life for all of them. It was explicitly, it was.
Yeah.
But it's just so great for them and a testament to how powerful these cast members are. And, we're going to be watching, of course, when this thing comes out. I'm so excited.
Oh, yeah. I will be dialed in. No clue on when it will be, though.
I think that this was a little toe in the water to be like, look at this. Could you imagine how wonderful this is? And then now they're probably going to start filming because that thing was just B-roll of New York City. It could have been about anything. So this is, I think now they're after they film their season, they're going to pick up and have like a fall or winter life that we get to see for the first time.
All right. And then Summer House is usually like early in the year, like February, March.
When it comes out and we get to watch it. Yeah, February, around then.
That's like not even far.
What day is it?
I literally, time ceases to exist anymore. And I cannot believe that it's like end of September. Like people are already making Halloween plans. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Do you know what you're dressing up as?
Lindsay Hubbard.
Cool. I'm gonna be. I think this year I'm gonna do. I'm gonna clean the dust off my Frodo Baggins that I did a few years ago. I think Lord of the Rings is sort of getting back in the pop culture arena again.
Martin Freeman was on Cinematrix today.
Oh, what'd you get for him?
I did Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh, huge.
Hot Fuzz, and The Hobbit.
Oh, that's awesome. What was the Hobbit's? What was the Hobbit's percentage?
30.
Oh, really? Oh,
it was high.
I thought it'd be even higher. I thought it'd be 80%.
But there's so many of. Well, is he in other ones?
He's in Hobbit. Yeah. Good retort. Touche. He's in good. He's in 1, 2, and 3 the entire trilogy. So
right. So like
split.
It was kind of split.
Well, so someone kind of probably pulled a fast one on Cinematrix and said Battle or Desolation of Smaug.
It had to, which I'm sure they all did, but that one that I put Hobbit for was 500 million plus gross. Which they all hit, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. But they were treated like stinkers when Peter Jackson came out with them. They were treated like the Star Wars prequels, and now they're really being celebrated again.
They should re-release them. I would go see them at AMC.
Oh, the Hobbit films?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Oh, well.
I'll see anything.
Oh, my God. Well, I hope someday, I hope you could just come over and spend 10 hours with me at my house. I own them all. I mean, unless you want to see them in a theater, but I can make my TV look big and I could. Well, okay. Yeah, no. I want you to see The Hobbit so bad. So I hope it comes to theaters again soon. Anything else to say to congratulate to congratulate Kyle, Amanda, Lindsay. This is the a treasure that is the what's not treasure. This was the years of their hard work came to fruition, and
Yeah.
now they're being honored by Bravo by this thing, and it couldn't have happened to better people. We love Kyle, Amanda. We love Lindsay Hubbard so much. And Carl, what the hell are you doing? You got to join this cast ASAP because we love you.
Do you think they negotiated a tasty per episode price?
Oh, I bet it was tasty as hell. I bet it was like we want our rate that we previously had plus the customary bonus that we would have gotten if it was season 11 or whatever it was.
Right. And it's interesting. I didn't predict that Andrea was going to be in the mix, but it makes sense because they're all actually friends with him.
Yeah, that was a surprise to me as well. But I think it's like if you're going to take a chance on a new cast member, he's the perfect person to go with. So that'll be great, and I'm sure they'll pop up. This will be a great time to run to New York City for a few people that are friends with these cast members and try your shot at becoming on in the city. You know what I mean? If you're one of Kyle and Amanda's close friends and you never wanted to go to the Hamptons, you might get a shot at being in this friend group and being a part of this show, because I'm sure they'll have some new friends pop in.
I saw Lindsay Hubbard posted fairly recently that Uncle Luke came to visit her baby, and so I'm like, he's still in the mix too.
Yeah, maybe Luke will get a little pop in every once in a while. Remember? Yeah, I wonder if he's still in New York.
I think so.
Oh my God! All right, well, there's going to be so many opportunities for Summer House cast members to pop their heads in. And then I wanted to say this last well, anything else you want to say about Summer House?
Nope, just that I'm excited.
Me too. I don't think there's anything else to say until we start seeing, things from it. I mean, it's just a huge congratulations. I'm proud of everyone. This isn't that big of a deal, but I wanted to ask you something. Have you seen this thing where Sheena and Lala are trading like kind of whispers back and forth at each other? Have you seen that there's sort of this, not whispers, but they're both talking about each other a little bit?
Like talking shit?
A little bit, but it's very friendly. It's almost like 1 out of 10 on any type of conflict, but they're almost like teasing, like we're mad at each other. We've got something going on, but it hasn't risen to one offensive statement at all. But I was on TikTok. I was having a full TikTok day, and it was like Sheena was doing 7 different press outlets, and she was talking about Lala's comments to her, and then apparently Lala was saying shit back and forth. You remember when we were talking about the book promo that Lala didn't do? It was starting to bubble up there. But people were saying that, like, maybe they're kind of throwing a little like bait out in the world to possibly the Bravo or Valley producers to be like, look what we're potentially bringing in addition to our personal lives. It was like you could capture this back and forth if you had us on the Valley as well, some people were saying.
I don't know that for me personally, that's my kind of chum.
Yeah, I agree. It was kind of like chum. It was kind of like using one of those just plastic big balls to catch a fish instead of chum, which we love, which is like beautiful fish chopped up. It's like, you remember when we were talking about how 2 cast members could go in as ride or die allies, and if they wanted to be sort of little stinkers, they could say, let's drag out some feud between us to create conflict because it'll be chum. This had a little bit of the hallmarks of it. I was like, either say something really disparaging about each other that's horrible and irreconcilable that we need to watch, or right now, I think you both are really good friends, and I'm just not, I don't know if that's adding to the enticement of getting onto the Valley. But you know what we haven't talked about is that the Valley is actively filming, and people are seeing, people were at Danny's house, Danny Bucco's beautiful house, which we saw in that cameo that he gave us. Bucco Mountain was behind him. So they're filming now, and I don't know if we've heard that Lala and Sheena actually got bumped up to full-time cast members. I feel like that would have come out had they, if that were the case.
Yeah.
So far.
Maybe they're waiting to see how the season shakes out. You also sent me that Sheena was getting into it about her Orange County involvement because Kiki met Gretchen on Sheena's podcast, and Sheena denied that Gretchen said that she went to the hospital or something. And I was just like, damn, like she really needs a topic because she's not on a show anymore that like generates storylines or conflict. So she's just like, yeah, like 5 years ago, Kiki Monique was on my podcast. Like she's trying to like get in the mix and talk about what Orange County housewives reached out to her and all this stuff. And I was just like, this is crazy.
Yeah, I know. I agree with you. Well, for me, I don't want to speak negatively at all about, Sheena. I sensed that was at play with this sort of feud that has not gotten a lot of attention between them. But for me, Sheena already has the big, huge, talk about chum. The chum in this big bucket would make Jaws even turn around to want to eat it, which is the post-Brock infidelity scandal.
Right.
That is all the chum she needs. I mean, so I
Jaws will eat anything.
Jaws will eat it. I shouldn't have used Jaws. I should have said Sheena's got so much chum in her bucket that it would make even a shark that had just eaten something huge still want to take a big whiff of this and come swimming back. And that's it. So she's, in my mind, she's already placed well for the Valley, but
She's
maybe
poised.
it didn't poised well, but maybe it didn't. Maybe she wasn't granted that, and so that's why she's throwing out extra little pieces of slop into the water to see if.
Yeah. I couldn't quite get to the bottom in her book where she was like, she talked about being, I guess you could say, ill-treated or, just commonly demoted or not treated with the star power perhaps that the other cast got.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is there something, what like mistake is she making that the other, is it just self-respect? Is it, not asserting herself enough? Because I feel like that could happen to her all over again with the Valley.
Them not treating her well and trying to get away with shit on Sheena. I think that Sheena, when she said in the book chapter that I read, she said that when she was demoted season 8, she goes, if they would have done this to Stassi, she would have put a middle finger in Jeremiah's face and said, fuck you, I'm walking.
His ass.
She put a finger right in front of his face and said, fuck you, I'm leaving. I have the world in front of me. I don't give a fuck. You're not demoting me. And they knew that they could not take advantage, but they could do this to Sheena and she would stay. There's something about Sheena that it's not, desperation is the worst word to use, but there's something about her want to be still included and be on reality television. And maybe she feels, I don't know, easy to manipulate not manipulate, easy to sort of, fuck with, and she won't push back. What is that?
Right.
That is, I guess that is for some a little bit of like has some, maybe in these sort of this contract world, she feels insecure about her power and her place on these shows. So Jeremiah and Bravo executives knew like she could be the one to demote because she's not gonna quit on us.
Right. Yeah, because when Katie was saying like, I'm good at my job and I don't get demoted, I'm like, I feel like they utilized Sheena way more than they utilized Katie as far as like a utility player.
Yeah.
I
agree. I mean, I think Sheena did the work of the producers on season 11. I think she did the work. She talks about doing the work for Lisa and the producers by being the bridge to the new SUR servers and the rest of the cast. So I don't know. I think that Sheena needs to realize, how powerful she is. And maybe this book being on the New York Times bestseller and maybe getting a call about the Valley will boost her confidence and make her know that these Bravo people can't fuck with her anymore.
Right. No, I'm very curious to see. I have no expectations for this next season of the Valley. I'm just curious what road they're going to take, like what it's going to look like.
Yeah, I have no clue. I can't even I can't imagine. I mean, post Jax. I mean, I guess if Sheena is included, you get a lot of that. But it's going to be reckoning with Janet and what she said. There's going to be a new chance for Janet to defend herself and everything she did last season. But yeah, who knows? My last thing bit of news was that this could probably wait till Salt Lake City episode, but I have to tell you this now. Lisa Barlow explained where she was during the premiere of Salt Lake City. Did you see this?
No, tell me.
So you predicted very close to the bullseye. You said, was she at the town 15th anniversary premiere and she was hosting it? It was so close to that, it's going to make you scream. I hope you don't scream too loud. She was actually at South by Southwest doing experiential activations for The Accountant 2 and A Simple Favor 2 on the same day, basically in the same room. And so she was with Blake and Ben. It just wasn't on the same film together, which you predicted.
See. Okay. Yeah, that puts me in a time and place. I did see The Accountant 2 for some reason with my A-list bucks.
How was it?
Not good.
Oh my God.
There is a cat in it though, which brought me pleasure.
Oh, that is so sweet. I was the experiential activation for The Accountant too. I'm sure they would lean more towards the accounting side of things and not the more like, you know, whatever the hell else is going on.
It is fun. It is like officially the title is a squared. The Accountant Squared because he's good at math.
Oh, holy shit. Oh my God. You know, because you always use what are those things called? You always use square roots.
Right.
What are they? Yeah, of course. Yeah. You always use square roots when you're doing accounting. Well, anyway, so I just thought it was great that Lisa Barlow had a great excuse for not going on that RV trip. It's obviously better that she was at those two activations at South by Southwest.
Yeah, wow. Now I need to go see what fun ideas she came up with. Isn't Matt and Ben are doing another movie together?
Yes. Oh my God. Can I talk about it?
Yeah.
So it's called the hold on one second. I know not the fire, not the heist. So the reason why I know about this is because someone very close to me and my family worked on it in Miami. Okay. And so I got advance warning that Matt and Ben were teaming up again. Netflix movie with Matt and Ben. It's called
like The Scrape.
The like Rip. The Rip. Because rips are apparently in this sort of, crime thriller vernacular, rip means ripping off, I think, some money from something. So Matt and Ben are teaming back together for a January 2026 Netflix release. And if you look at the trailer, it looks incredible.
They're like, are they crooked cops?
I think the secret, so the trailer, sorry to talk about this too long, but the trailer makes it seem like they might be corrupt, crooked as hell. But then, and it even leaves off with a cliffhanger. She goes, what does your tattoo say? AGGWGG? And he goes, are we the good guys? ? And it leaves you with that moment of like, are we the good guys? But I bet you if I know Matt and Ben, they wouldn't do a movie where they're both big stinkers. Maybe one of them is, but I think there's going to be a redeeming element, and maybe both of them are actually really good, but they had to get a little dirty to show how good they are.
Right. I wonder how because they do that like artist equity thing. They make the movies that they make, everyone gets paid a equitable amount or whatever, but how does that work if it's Netflix? If there's no box office?
Oh, holy shit. Oh my God. Fuck.
Is it just like Netflix bought it and then they just disperse whatever they bought it for to everyone?
They say they give them probably the analytic readout and they say 6 minutes was watched here. You know, look at how 30% of the homes loved this movie.
14 billion seconds viewed.
Yeah, and then they have some probably very very perfect way of rolling out cash that is equitable to what the box office would have been.
Bucks.
Netflix bucks, which you could spend on the next movie that you
in the Netflix
make.
store on Hollywood Boulevard, which does exist.
Does it? What does it have in it?
Like stupid Squid Game shit.
Oh my God! Holy shit! All right, well, look out in January 2026 for The Rip, starring Matt, David, and Ben Affleck. And now
I can't believe I said The Scrape. So
No,
close to the rip.
you were so close. I said, I didn't even know what it was. I said the pig, and I was like, what the hell? I know it's not that, but I knew it had kind of a
The
generic title,
squid.
the squid. But I think I think the reason why we're rushing through news is because we want to get to this, talking about this Real Housewives
This
of Orange.
game-changing episode called Loose Lips Sink Trips.
Yeah.
Which it was like the same trips as last week.
Right. We saw these trips in their incubation stage. we saw that once Katie got fired for some unknown reason, which is kind of odd still.
I know. When I saw her like holding her orange in the beginning, I was like, oh yeah, she's on this show, like in an official capacity. What happened?
Yeah, how do you let a cast member get fired like this? We already talked about this. There's precedent for when everyone isolates you. You can just film with them. But it seems like they made a decision to fire her completely and just start the show over again. But regardless, out of sight, out of mind. I don't know what to think about that. Now we are actually on these two trips. And when I say we're on these trips, the entire episode is these two, the Temecula versus sleepover trips. Heather's sleepover versus Tamara's Temecula trip the entire time.
Yes. Right? Just for context for myself, I wanted to look up. This is episode 11. So that's where we're at in the season, which means there's like not that many left.
No, I mean, we're in the final stretch. I don't know. Maybe Katie will. It's just the explanation, not giving Katie the explanation. I mean, she did say, this is the last time you'll ever see me. Goodbye. And then they had her kind of disappear on the.
Yeah.
But I don't know why, she's not talked about at all. Like, hey, do you remember that crazy shit we had to deal with? So it starts out this episode where Gina is telling Shannon that she that she worries about Shannon, kind of Shannon's drinking, her health.
Yeah. That was like sad. She was like, my ex just had a heart attack and I worry about your body. Like Tamara's confessional, she's like, drinking's really hard on your body. And I'm like, are you guys implying that like Shannon has wrecked her health through excessive drinking and now you think that like her heart is going to give out? Like, can you like relax?
Yeah, I thought, yes, I agree with you. It was a little bit, because Shannon starts to push back in this Temecula trip. She's kind of like, shut up, stop talking about me. No, please. She doesn't want any discussion about her. She's extremely defensive immediately. But I do think in Gina's defense, because I love Gina now, I think that Gina was being like, these are my true feelings. I really feel this way. I'm going to be brave and say them to Shannon, even though Shannon is going to, I know she's going to explode at me potentially for bringing up her health and drinking. But I sensed a genuine compassion from Gina about Shannon both times she brings this up on the trip. Do you concur with that?
Yeah. And even later when Shannon starts to open up about her childhood and stuff, I didn't think that Tamara had necessarily ill intentions, even though I think it was more that Shannon was like, I don't even like you still, so don't try and like use insider information to get in with me, kind of a thing.
Yeah. Shannon is kind of like, any talking about me is trying to make me the story, and I do not want to be the story again. My drinking was the story last year. So even no matter what people say to her at this point, she's almost having she thinks they have the worst intentions at heart by bringing up anything related to drinking. And with Tamara, that might be true, but with Gina, I don't think it's true. And then Tamara kind of says, what the hell can I do to get you back as my friend, please, so that we can end this? And Shannon says, I just need more time. I need to see that you're a better person over a longer period of time because you really hurt me. But she does say, like, I will allow that a little bit more than I have. So it gets to a sort of a better place with Tamara and Shannon at the start of the episode.
Right. Yeah, they're like, let's go have Shannonigans and have fun. So that's where it ends. And then we go back to Crustacean, Beverly Hills. They're still eating there. The following week.
Yeah, I think they spent about 6 hours there. They go, "This food was so good." They go, "How do we get more of this stuff?" She was like, "Can we order some stuff to go?" And the guy was like, "Sure, that's one of our policies." And then she goes, and Heather goes, "We got to get out of here. There's a paparazzi waiting for us." And then they show again that clip of Shane the paparazzi out there, which confirmed Heather's story that she wasn't photographed at Disneyland.
Yes. Yes. We get a rare real moment from Heather here where she talks about that her dad was a little bit of a rage head in
Yeah.
her childhood. And when they would go out or be on vacation, he would just flip his shit and it really stressed her out. And she was like, I tried to bring this up to Tamara and say, sometimes when you're unpredictable, it reminds me of my dad and it kind of freaks me out. And Tamara was like, anyways.
Yeah, Tamara goes, "I don't have outbursts with my family at dinner. Basically, shut up, stop talking." There's a lot of like, stop talking, in this. Like, you're not going to try to make this about me. Like, people need to just, this cast specifically needs to like, just let anything be said. Like, not everything has horrible negative connotations that people say, so, especially Heather. She didn't mean anything by that. She just wanted to tell Tamara where she was coming from. That's it.
Yeah.
It was. I was proud of Heather for sharing that thing about her dad, having those sort of angry outbursts that would embarrass her all the time in public.
I feel like I remember there being like one dinner where we met her parents and it was like a little awkward and she was sort of like, they're insane. But she's been on for so long and she like never talks about them.
Yeah, we sort of get two bits of like family lore.
Mhm.
One is not sanctioned that comes
Right.
up about Shannon, and then Heather's was sanctioned. She wanted to talk about it, and she says that she acknowledges that she was scared of Tamara, for a while, but now they've gotten better. So she's talking about the first season that we ever recapped on Turtle Time, where Tamara was being horrible to Heather. That's when she was scared of her, but now they're in a better place.
Yes. Then later we will get to, but they leave Crustacean and go to the Abbey to go dancing, which I was like, damn, I didn't see that coming.
I was so excited that we got to see the Abbey. I loved when they said that. And they really have a classic time at the Abbey. It looked fun as hell.
It's true.
Okay, Temecula, right, is the other trip that we want
So much to say. They put on T-shirts with the little bikini body on them, which, as I said, I have one and I love it.
You do? I don't think you've ever told me that you have one.
I had one before, like in my youth, and then I lost it. And when I went to Venice earlier this year, I bought a new one, and the one that I bought has a physical belly button ring pierced into the shirt itself.
That is so awesome. I've told you so many times how much I love this style of shirt. So between the Abbey, which is to come, and them all wearing these shirts with bikini bodies on the front, I said, whoa, we have the makings of maybe a classic episode.
We should get you a version, and then we could wear them to BravoCon.
Oh my God, yes. Oh, I had to think about that for a second because I was like, what the hell am I going to wear? But yeah, I want a huge shirt of that. That wouldn't be too odd, would it, if I was walking around BravoCon with that?
We could get you maybe like a Speedo one that had like abs.
That would be so awesome. Will you send me some examples after Turtle Time today?
Definitely. We'll expense it. And then it's just like they wear these dorky swim caps and they think it's like the funniest thing in the world. And at least they're like, we're not going to get into the drama and the feuds between some of us here. Let's just have fun. They smoke weed in the hot tub. And then this is where Gina says again, she's like, no, Shannon, I am worried about you. And Shannon's like, what did I do? She's like, I just watch my shows at home and do my Sudoku.
God, that was a great Shannon. I like closed my eyes for a second. I was like, holy shit, that sounds like Shannon completely. We also, that marijuana was that really good marijuana from Heather's second birthday party where the person, she goes, this is special marijuana. When you get marijuana like this, you save it for a special occasion. And again, it kind of made me think about you when you said like, wow, we like when Charlie was smoking a big bong in his place in Next Gen NYC, we're like, wow, we really opened the lid on just casual marijuana use, and they're just smoking a joint. And that's when Gina goes, Shannon, she goes, Shannon, I am worried about you. about your health and your heart and all that kind of stuff. And that's what made me think that when she was high, she was like, I don't want you to think that I'm just doing this as a storyline, that because it came up at that dinner where you were already arguing and stuff. No, truly, I'm thinking about this now. And now that I'm high, I want you to know deeply that this is coming from me, that I'm worried. Like a kind of a second way to frame it for Shannon, to know that it was genuine. And Shannon doesn't freak out. She does say that she's doing Sudoku puzzles, but I think she knows that Gina has the good intentions for this.
Yeah, across the board, I would say Gina generally currently has good intentions. They also Shannon at one point is like, I tell everything to Archie because he's the only one in the house. So they showed the clip of her being like, I'm going to be gone for 1 night and 2 days. And Archie's like, okay. And they're like, that's so sad that you're just alone with your dog. Like, you're so lonely just with your dog. And I'm like, that's not that big of a deal. Like, who cares?
No.
Like,
I mean,
what?
No. And it's like, I love my family, obviously. But the idea of some alternate reality where I'm just doing risky business with my dog, dancing around, and not that I want that, but it doesn't sound at all horrible to me.
I was just like in your fantasies, sliding in your socks, like with a beer.
No. Well, I had actually, the reason why I'm like wistful is because I had 10 years of that.
Yeah.
I had 10 years of living alone with my dog, George Michael.
I love being alone with a pet. It's like awesome.
I'm a person, like. I'm a introvert. So that, so for them, it's egregious behavior to be alone with a dog. But for me, it's like, I find solace in that.
Totally.
And extreme joy. Just reading a book.
Wow, 2 introverts with a podcast.
Yeah, what the hell are we thinking?
December babies.
Yeah, totally. Someone said, Lisa Barlow said, she goes, I'm a Sagittarius, so I'm busy, and I take so much pride in my work. And I go, which Sagittarius book did you read? I have none of those qualities. It's kind of like, it made me kind of realize, like, are signs accurate? Because whatever Lisa Barlow is.
That's the Capricorn thing, too, is that it's like Capricorns work their ass off. They're obsessed with making money. And I'm like,
yeah, 2 hard workers over here. Look at us.
We're setting the world on fire every day.
Yeah. Okay. So you're kind of right. I'm glad you breezed over. I didn't realize this Temecula trip was such a snooze until the final thing, because I was getting a lot of fire and fury from the Heather sleepover part, and it was kind of taking me through. So getting back to that trip. They go to the Abbey, and Heather got this wonderful booth. I think I know where it is. Like, I've been to every little inch of the Abbey, and they have dancers, and they say Emily is like so happy to be dancing with these people, and Gretchen is getting drunk as hell, like really, really drunk, and it looks like just a fun time for all of them. Like, they were really enjoying the Abbey.
Yeah, I also completely forgot. Because I probably haven't watched, like, I watched Orange County the whole time it was on, but I don't really revisit it. Like, I think during COVID, I revisited it, like, almost all the way through, or like a lot of the way through, like from the beginning, but I have seen it probably one of the least, like, way more likely to rewatch Roni, Beverly Hills, Atlanta, like, not OC, but, I forgot she did that Pussycat Dolls thing, which for a while there was a total thing. Like, I think Kim Kardashian did it. It was like a sort of reality show standby where they were casting semi-famous people to be the Vegas Pussycat Dolls stand-in.
Wow.
And I was like, if you had a gun to my head, I would not have remembered that Gretchen did this, or that she had a song. I didn't remember that at all.
Me neither. No, seriously. And I was reminded when they showed the Gretchen Slade proposal, I was like, oh yeah, I kind of remember that. But no, I don't really remember the Gretchen era very well at all. So it's kind of like that thing that, like, where you're talking about where, like, what was that? What's that Chicago show? Is it Chicago where they kind of pull a big cameo guest to kind of get the internet ablaze? Is it sort of like a smaller version of that, like stunt casting?
Totally. Yeah. I think, because that woman that created the Pussycat Dolls, Robin Anton, I think she had something to do with, like, Erica Jane's Vegas show too, potentially. But yeah, it was a total thing. That's such a flashback. Because there's that Pussycat Doll aesthetic. It's kind of like pirate, like garters, bustier. So like whoever the guest was had to take on the look of that.
That's awesome. It looked so cool. I never really I never really had a Pussycat Dolls era, so I was just seeing it almost for the first time through Gretchen's
Yeah.
lens there when they showed that clip. Okay, do you want then? This is I would say that this is probably the biggest thing that starts to bubble up on this episode, which is that after they have a lot of fun, Gretchen is drunk and she's a little more freewheeling. Emily says, Gretcher's drunk is really fun. I don't like the other Gretchers that's doing social media posts and has a bunch of filters on her face. And I have to say that I thought that Heather and Emily were sort of treating Gretchen badly this trip at a certain point when she's drunk and thinks that she can be more carefree. They start to really turn on her when she reveals this thing because they know the impact it's going to have on the show. And they kind of pick on Gretchen, not to the extent that it's like anything that would be classified as bullying, but I just kind of didn't like how they started to treat her. I felt like she was really having fun and opening up and thought that Heather and Emily were becoming her friends and embracing being on Real Housewives again. And they were kind of like, oh no, you made a huge mistake and that's going to carry us through 4 more episodes. And we can't wait to tell Tamra, you're fucked. And you know, when you say something at a sleepover with all your friends and then you're drunk and then you wake up the next morning and they're like, do you remember that horrible fucking thing that you said? We're going to tell everyone all over town. That's what it felt like to me.
Yeah. Well, it sounded like they were like, you already said it on camera, because she was like, don't tell anyone. And they were like, too late.
Yeah. And you know, this is the first time where I was like, yeah, you said it on camera. But like, if you ask someone, well, let's say what the thing is first. They get in the car and Gretchen goes, I had a huge song, which we didn't remember, you and I. She goes, and guess what? Tamra tried to sing in a studio once and she sounded like a dolphin looking for chum. And we have a recording of that. And then she kind of implies that she has access to this recording. And then she goes, and also the person that she worked with, I think she might have had sex with this Gen X band member who is a mystery still.
It?
Yeah, right. We don't know. But it's kind of like she has the telephone game. Hootie? Well, no, because I think that Heather says, I don't know who this person is. I'm just above Gen X. And then Emily goes, I'm Gen X as hell. I know who this is. So there's some generational divide about this band member that Heather didn't know, but Emily knew very well. And it means that they're not so famous that they crossed over to all generations. It's like, you know what I mean?
20.
What's his name? Rob Thomas?
Rob Thomas.
Let's just say it's Rob Thomas, and then we'll edit it out or do whatever. So let's just imagine it was Rob Thomas that was singing.
Maybe it was
with Tamra.
Carlos Santana. Maybe she was there during what was that song?
Oh my God. She was there in the studio when Carlos Santana and Rob Thomas performed their famous song, Rob Thomas, a song I sing at karaoke every time I go. Carlos Santana, and it's just like the ocean.
Like, you're a
smooth
hot one.
Oh my God! If Tamra was in the booth when Carlos Santana and Rob Thomas cooked up Smooth, that is like a historical event that you would think about for the rest of your life.
I hope if she was there, she had a threesome just to seal the deal on that historic day.
Oh my God. And if you listen to the lyrics, I don't want to keep saying salacious, disparaging gossip, but if you read the lyrics to Smooth, you could imagine that Carlos Santana and Rob Thomas are singing to Tamra.
Yeah. I'm going to put on my Santana shoes tonight. He does have a shoe line.
Really? I didn't know that. This is amazing. And then I guess we should talk about this now as well, because I don't know how much we're going to get into the details, but it sounds like when Gretchen follows up to get this song, it becomes a less innocent story. She sort of threw a funny, silly thing that everyone could have enjoyed. Like, I would love to hear the audio of Tamra singing a shitty song. That's fun. But then Slade, when Gretchen calls later and goes, Slade, what's that song that you got sent of the recording where she was singing like shit? And he goes, you mean the audio recording of her cheating on Eddie and having sex with someone in the engineering booth, and you could hear them both having sex? And
Right.
it's like, oh God, what the hell? Like
Heather's like, no, we don't want that.
it really went from a 2 out of 10 on the scandal level to a 10 out of 10, something that no one wants to indulge in on the show. And I almost felt like Gretchen, in her drunken state of mind, relied on Slade to be the proper arbiter of this information and only tease out the song that he had access to. Because apparently Slade keeps every artifact from his run on OC, everything that's ever been sent to him. He's a vault for it. But he then divulges the worst, horrible thing to the world, which is a fuck you to Gretchen. It's awful that he put Gretchen in that position.
Right. I did, like, when he has a confessional, I groan. He's like, do I want to cause drama with Tamra? Blah, blah, blah. No. But he goes, he's like, I'm not interested in that, but I am interested in telling the truth. It's like, can you relax? Like, no one wants you here.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Truth. I finally did see Heather's canopy beds that you were talking about last week, and I was stunned that I like blinked and I missed them. They were beautiful. Lights, canopies.
I knew Heather wasn't sleeping out there.
Oh, she didn't?
In the morning, she like came and woke them up.
Oh my God. Oh, holy shit. I thought they all slept in those beds. And then Gretchen is this the point where Gretchen is kind of like, she's like, I want to be rich so bad. I love this. This is the most beautiful house. I feel like I'm rich. And she's kind of acting like she's kind of freaking out that she's getting to have this experience, almost to the point where Emily is saying, like, calm down, please. You're drunk and this isn't that big of a deal. You get a grip a little bit.
Yeah. They also, so like that reveal is happening and they're sort of like, haha, like that's going to be drama. And then it carries into the sober light of day breakfast where they start sort of poking her about, like, it starts innocently enough where they're like, do you ever think about getting married? And she's like, I would love to, sure. And they're like, back in the day, you were worried about his financial situation. He had all that child support shit going on. And she's like, I trust him now. I would have way more faith in him now that I wouldn't be worried about that. And but then they start going like, who pays the rent? Like, who buys the groceries? And it's like, I mean, I was a little bit like, she owns the house and he doesn't pay rent. So like he lives with her for free and always has, presumably. And then she's like, they're like, what about groceries? Like, do you have a joint account? She's like, well, it's from my account. I'm like, does he just have like her debit card?
Yeah, I could tell why they were intrigued, but it was almost like they were using Gretchen's big misstep and holding it over her head to sort of then get to the bottom of a lot of Gretchen mysteries. And they stopped treating her like a friend or an equal at that point. And we're just like, what else can we scrape out of you? Because we know that now we get to use you to sort of answer a lot of audience questions. And I felt like she noticed the shift between them. At the end of the night, she was like, I love you both. I love you so much. It's been the most fun night of my life. And neither of them will answer her and say that they love her. They're kind of just leave her to stew, like that she's not really a part of their group still. And then that's when they kind of start to, in my opinion, take advantage of her a little bit the next morning. And also don't explicitly say that they're going to not tell Tamra about this sex audio recording that was floated by Slade. On FaceTime.
Yeah. And it sort of ends with her saying that she is concerned about that rumor. Also, Emily reveals that she didn't get a prenup, which I guess, I mean, I was surprised because she's a lawyer, but also then I remember that Shane's family is super wealthy. So I'm like, well.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, do you think, I don't remember what Gretchen received. Like, I hope this is not too horrible to say, but did Gretchen get a big, beautiful boatload of cash as being the heir to that? I think that guy was rich, Jeff. I don't remember the specifics, but did she get a big boatload of cash upon his untimely passing? And then she was like, Slade has got horrible debts and child support shit, and he's financially not doing well, and I don't want to mix any of my wonderful financial status with Slade's mess.
Right. Yeah, it makes sense. I feel like I remember Jeff having older kids that were like her age or something. So I don't know how that shook out, but I'm sure she got something. Um, but yeah, also Terry was there at the breakfast, which I was like, "Hey Terry, love you."
Yeah, he was great. They all ordered different types of eggs.
Yeah.
Poached.
The chef was disappointed by all the orders.
He goes, I normally wouldn't serve over hard eggs ever in my life, but if you need them, what the hell? I guess I'll give them to you.
The
And
cardinal
then,
sin.
yeah, Heather was like, you can order any type of eggs, you want.
Speaking of eggs, over in Temecula, Shannon's making breakfast. She's very stressed. She's brought her own pots and pans. She's making like cauliflower hash browns and like all of this shit. I'm like, damn, like she's really working up a sweat on this.
She wanted to make breakfast. What all did you say it was?
She was making like these little cauliflower, so like carbless potato like pancake things that I was like, that's so much work. Like just get the little frozen ones.
Yeah, it looked great. And then they take it out to the outside, right?
Yeah. There's one thing. Gina cries about her turmoil with like
Oh yeah.
Travis, and like she's like, I would love to marry him, but we live in hell with his divorce still going on. So there's that. And then yeah, they go outside. Shannon is talking about being in therapy. She's talking about her childhood chaos, that like she's still like in her 60s crying about her parents' divorce. It was like very traumatizing. She said that she felt bad for her dad because it sounds like her mom left her dad. And then Tamara goes, Gene the Machine had a real drinking problem back then, didn't he? And she's like, fuck you.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And it was, Shannon admits that this is off the table for discussion on this show. She goes, my dad is 90. She tells her right to her face, my dad is 96. I never wanted this to, he stopped drinking. He's accounted for this. I never wanted that on the show. And she thinks that Tamara is bringing this up just to make Shannon look bad and tie it to Shannon's own alcoholism, as Tamara defines it. So Shannon is pissed, and then Tamara kind of screams and shouts and says, I can't do anything. All I said was Gene the Machine was a alcoholic. You told me that on the phone one time. And so she gets pissed off and runs away from Shannon.
Yeah, she's like, fuck this, I'm not doing this anymore. And then it's like Jen and Gina trying to mend this. They're both like, this is insane. Like, I hate dealing with these bitches. And Gina drops to the floor and she's like, they're too old for us to be dealing with this. It sucks.
Yeah, and then Tamara does say one thing that she gets away with Jen that Jen didn't hear because she was clanking a bunch of dishes. But Tamara does say, she goes, she's worried that this bombshell about Gene the Machine makes her look like an alcoholic. I don't think she cares about her dad.
Rude.
And I was like, oh my God, she doesn't care about Gene the Machine, her 96-year-old dad that it seems like she has a great relationship with. It was also sad. She said that back in the divorce days that her mom told her that she was going to get a divorce from Gene the Machine. He told her kids first, and then they had to go to a barbecue party where Gene the Machine was walking around with no knowledge that he was about to get divorced. And she said it made me feel so bad. That's like, it is crazy to imagine that you would know that your mom wants to divorce your dad and he doesn't know yet that a bomb is waiting for him.
Someone's going to come be like, here's your hamburger buns. They're like, just kidding, you're served.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, I was thinking of a scenario exactly like that. Did anybody order any more hamburger buns? And Gene the Machine goes, no, but we'll take them. And then he goes, instead of that, it is this. Papers to be served.
I would be so shook if I got served. Like the little trickery of it all.
I swear that I will never in a legal capacity serve you any papers.
Yeah, I think that'd be a conflict of interest. Is that what he is in Pineapple Express?
Yeah, he's this process server.
That's a funny, idea.
Yeah, remember when we saw Server? Remember we saw Server in action on The Valley?
Oh, yeah. And Jax is just so confused. He's like, huh?
He goes, oh, this is about the podcast. Okay, anything else to say about this episode of OC?
No. Just next week, it's going to explode where Tamara finds out about the Rob Thomas rumor and goes off on Gretchen. And Gretchen is like, you don't want to know what I know. Like, you don't want me to say all the shit that I know. So, I mean, I guess I'm like, give it to me. That's at least something.
Yeah, Tamara is going to use this, and this is when she's going to scream in Gretchen's face about this. The accusation that Tamara cheated on Eddie and had sex with someone in a recording booth, and it was recorded, is a big deal. That we got this in episode 11 of this season. So I'm interested to see how they're going to what Tamara is going to do when she reacts to this.
Tamara was like, ain't nobody got me feeling like I'm feeling you.
What if it what if it sounded like, do you mean like, what if it sounded beautiful and she was killing it in the recording booth?
Wait, what was the Ariana one?
I think I need you understanding. I think I want you to know that. What if it was so like, I bet it's
what you came for?
What you came for? I want to hear that, but then like just how
release
they all
the
react.
Tapes.
Yeah, release the tapes, but edit out the part where she goes, now I want to have sex with you. I loved singing that song, but now can I cheat on Eddie? I want to have sex. That's.
Are we sure it was Eddie, not?
Possibly. You're right. Sorry.
No, not David. Simon.
Simon and David. Yeah, it could be. It could be Simon, but like you said, we talked about at the beginning of the season. I mean, these accusations. Now there's more recordings, and it's like we're getting into defamation territory again in a big way. Like now it's like you recorded someone having sex and released that tape to Slade, and now Slade has been listening to it for years, and he's threatening to release it on this season. That's horrible. No more recording people. Like, we've had enough. They should, like, I know you can't ban phones while they're filming because you need phones for plot, but no one should be recorded in this environment and it used against them. It's really bad. And it's happened on almost every franchise, I would say.
You can leave.
Yeah, that's what Meredith said. Yeah, that's what Meredith said to Brittany when Brittany was recording. She goes,
I've had enough of you.
She said, I've had enough of you. She was so pissed. All right, let's talk about Miami. I got 2 words about this episode of Miami. You're gonna love it. Art Basel.
Not Art Basel.
No, Adriana corrected me. I was calling it Art Basel to anyone who will listen. I said, I can't wait to go to Art Basel this year in Miami. And she goes, oh, that's what people who don't ever go call it, basil. She goes, it's not a plant. She said, it's not a, what is basil?
Herb.
She said, it's not a herb. It's Art Basel, and this is one of the most distinguished international art events in the world, and everyone flocks to Miami to be a part of this thing. And I've heard of Art Basel before. Have you?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I can't speak. I've never been, but I think it's like pretty bastardized into like just a party culture. Like I feel like, how Comic-Con used to be pure of heart and now it's just like a promotion convention. I feel like Art Basel is very scarcely about art anymore, or you have to like go out of your way for it to not just be a superficial experience. But correct me if I'm wrong, Basel heads.
Yeah, Basel heads. Correct us. We should bring, whenever you and I go to Miami, when we plan a trip, we should bring back the sort of authenticity and create a little small, like really art forward gallery that's sort of in juxtaposition to the commercialization of Art Basel. Would you be interested?
Yeah, let's go. I mean, you were just saying you have a connect in Miami, so you could hand over Penny. We can go to the beauty bar.
And bring art back. Like we could do really sort of introspective pieces of art that sort of is so uncommercial that it makes people their berets on their head start to spin around.
Oh yeah. I already have some ideas. It would be like the Starbucks mermaid, but like she has like AK-47s for arms and like dollar signs for eyes.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's so anti-commercial and it's from its inception that to even think about Starbucks sort of with the iconography of capitalism, it's going to make even sort of people who are I just think that a lot of people would kind of be in an, it would shock them to see
Yeah.
that stuff.
It would be like the Resolute desk, but there's like a chimpanzee on top of it, like with a clown nose on.
Yeah, and it would say "Make America Be Chimps Again" on his head.
Make America monkey again.
Yeah, and
What do they say in Planet of the Apes? It's ape never kill ape. What is it?
Yeah. Yeah. Let me remember Caesar's words again. I think it's ape shall never kill another ape, or ape. Yeah, I think it was ape don't kill ape.
Didn't someone on Love Island have that tatted? And I was like, respect, I love it.
It was so cool. Yeah, Caesar kind of
Caesar rocks.
Caesar was so cool, and then
he's a martyr.
Yeah, and then they use his beautiful imagery to justify horrible actions when Caesar was a pacifist.
I hate that.
Me too.
I got to rock out a low percentage Judy Greer on Cinematrix last week because she's famously an ape.
Oh my God, I bet the Cinematrix office, like, they probably screamed in delight when you put in
we got one.
Yeah. What's that one called? We don't have to talk about the Ape trilogy too long, but she's in the second one.
I think she's in the second two.
She's Caesar's wife, and unfortunately a horrible ape named
Does it go Dawn? No. Is it Rise? Which one's first?
Rise.
It's really hard.
Rise. And then Dawn.
Rise, Dawn, More?
Yep, exactly. And then Dawn, Judy Greer, his wife, gets, spoiler alerts, has a tragic incident befall her, and it sets Caesar on a mission of vengeance, for his wife.
And Woody Harrelson is in War, and is Gary Oldman in War also? Or is he in the middle one?
He's in Dawn. He's an amazing character, more of a sympathetic human. But he's, in his defense, he's a little worried when he sees a bunch of apes running towards him, starting conflicts with him. He's like, I'm a human. Are you my enemy? Are you my ally? And eventually he becomes allied with Caesar, I'm pretty sure. But it's Woody Harrelson who's like, we need to take back this planet for humans, and he has an antagonistic relationship with Caesar.
He's
pretty
a full what's the guy's name in Apocalypse Now?
Yeah, total Colonel Kurtz.
The horror.
Yep.
I'm just like saying words now. Instead of talking about this
he does say the horror. No, he does say the horror. I remember. He's in that big cave. He's in a cave, and what's his name needs to kill him, and he goes, the horror. The horror. Okay, let's talk about this Art Basel. So Adriana is kind of this is when Adriana gets to shine, because she's an art head and she's been running galleries for 20 years. And at one point she goes, I know this emerging artist from Britain called Charlie Rivers, who he's basically a combination of Rembrandt and Dali, and I'm so happy to showcase.
She was like the brushstroke of Rembrandt and the imagination of Dali, and I'm like, what a combo.
I said if I was thinking of two major artists that I wanted a combination of, you can't do much worse or better than Rembrandt and Dali. And then you see a little bit of it in his paintings. The brushstrokes are reminiscent of Rembrandt, but there's surrealist clocks.
Yeah, you could see it exactly. But yeah, that the art dealer or gallery life of Adriana used to be like the cornerstone. That was because, remember, in the early seasons, it was very like career oriented. It was like, I do art. Then there was like a lawyer, and then like Leah was like the charity person. Like it and now not so much.
No, it's gotten away from its artistic roots. And I think that Adriana now this is when she gets to have a lot of fun. And this is all dedicated to her. And all of her friends are coming out. And she gets to give the speeches. And she has this solo gallery. And so it's kind of an Adriana-centric episode. Adriana even ends the episode, too, with her grief against Kiki. Okay, how quickly do we want to go through this? Kiki has a nice scene with her dad, where her dad gets really excited about her modeling. He finally learns what modeling is. It's not
He's like,
just
"Oh, you're
nudity.
not nude always?" I'm like, "I think you could have figured that out before you kicked her out of the house. You could have just asked a couple questions."
Yeah, I think so too. Probably a few questions, but she goes, "My dad is so proud of me now. He loves this." What brand? I forget what brand it was.
I couldn't tell.
I couldn't either, but she goes,
Um,
"Look at him. He's happy. He's so happy."
yeah, she was modeling luggage. Then we get Larsa's moving into her new house. She got this big piece of art delivered that was sort of akin to the kind of shit I was talking about. It's a big gummy bear. It's like the Jeff Koons style, but not. And it's a gummy bear with a as if he were getting a mug shot. He has the little name plate and it says Department of Corrections, New York, New York, 6607, bear, comma, gummy. So like it's a gummy bear who got arrested.
I was putting my sort of art critic lens on, and I was like, well, this makes me think big gigantic gummy bear, with arrested at some point, and then the what are those called that they hold?
Yeah, the little like plate, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's like, is it a commentary on the police state? Like even a gummy bear gets arrested.
Yeah. Oh, that's a really good interpretation. My mind didn't even lend itself to think of that as even one option. Our police state has gotten so to the point where there's so many arrests that even a gigantic green gummy bear could have gotten arrested. And Larsa goes,
For God's sakes.
For God's sakes. And Larsa goes, "I love it. Thank you so much." I forget, she's names the artist. I wish we could spotlight that person, but it definitely led itself for artistic interpretation. Do you agree with that?
It was a stunning piece. I was also surprised that her house seemed potentially tasteful. I mean, we'll see how she decorates it, but I was like, oh, it's kind of like a cool house.
I thought
maybe.
so too. I always think Larsa is very tasteful.
Well, she was like, finally, this is the first house that I will own alone. And she's like, it doesn't need to be masculine. And they cut to her old place. And I'm like, her old place was that like mid early aughts, like Tuscan style. And I'm like, your new house looks more masculine, but I guess at least she can do whatever she wants. But remember when like everyone's mom's kitchen was either like Tuscan or French country? Like everyone had like a rooster in their house. It was kind of like that.
Yeah, tell me about the Tuscan sort of era of houses. What was sort of prompting that? What was going on? Was it sort of just
It was like the luxury, like all housewives in the early days, all of their kitchens were that Tuscan, like dark woods and like earthy, like everything oversized. And then there was a complete backlash and everything now is white, white, white. Like knock the walls down, white only.
Gray, white, dull blue? Like there's only like three colors now. I think when people look at us 20 years from now, they're gonna be like, what the fuck was going on with all of these houses?
Have
Why
some
were they
fun,
like
damn.
clinics basically? Like what the hell is going on? Yeah, I don't like this contemporary style of just no color. Well, you're right. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I didn't even look at her house. I just saw that gummy bear and I was kind of thinking about what that meant. They have a pajama party with just Alexia and Stephanie, and they go, "Hey, what about Todd?" And Alexia goes, "It's going good."
She's like, I haven't said anything about the divorce yet, but the extension is almost up. And Larsa goes, he's gonna bamboozle you.
Yeah. Alexia has to talk about Todd a lot.
Yeah. Because it's confusing and everyone's like, what the fuck is going on? So we'll see if that ever comes to a conclusion. They're out of time. Next week is the season finale, so probably not. I guess that'll be good reunion fodder, but overall, I'm like, what are they going to talk about the reunion?
I know. No, what really? I mean, what really? This old versus ratchet controversy? Old person, wrinkled knees. They're going to talk about Jetiquette. I mean,
yeah. I guess Stephanie will be the main. She's the first chair, right? That's why. That makes sense now. Now
Yeah.
that I think about it.
Stephanie versus Alexia is going to be the main focus of the reunion. But, again, I mean, we've had other seasons that we've talked about where we're like, what the hell are they going to talk about the reunion? And then we'll be surprised by
We
a
have
3-part.
no memory whatsoever of everything that happened. And they're like, oh,
Yeah.
we have a stacked 3-part.
Yeah.
Okay, then Julia, there's more shit about her daughters. She's packing a Christmas package for them with the little boys. And she's saying that the daughters were saying that it would have been easier for them to deal with this adoption if they were still living in the house so that they were part of it. And Martina goes, that's bullshit. They'd still be pissed off.
Yeah, Julia was really surprised. I don't think that she expected Martina to talk shit about her daughters at this point. And Martina seems to be alluding to the daughters being kind of selfish. And she was like, they didn't want to know. They asked to be out of the loop because they didn't want to hear about it. And then they were horrified when we actually got to the point and it was too late for them to take it back. So she seems like she has sort of strong opinions about how Julia's daughters were acting. She goes, to sabotage something because you don't like how things are turning out is kind of a choice. And I was like, damn. I was like, that's major shots fired at Julia's daughters. Like, Julia just wants you back in her life, and she told you about this. At least at some point, you were too busy with your lives to check in, and then it happened. And then now you're actively treating your mom like shit because you're mad at her decision. Like, Martina can't understand the world in which the daughters would do that to their mom who loves them.
Right. Yeah. That's like a major thing to just not be talking to your kids for an extended period of time. That's wild. Then we get a little Jody and Lisa dinner, a little private romantic dinner. And she's like, wow, this makes me feel like something special is going to happen. And he was like, if you're talking about engagement, no.
He does. This dinner looked amazing. We got to see Logan again, Lisa's son. Do you remember he was the boy, I think, who got to go to the bank?
Yeah.
He was really fun. And now he just eats dinner, I think, with his sister. But then Jody and Lisa go outside. And Jody does say he kind of does a gold carrot not a gold carrot, a carrot on a stick to Lisa to say, hey, like, there's pure chaos sometimes around you, and you sometimes treat me like shit because of the chaos surrounding you. If you, unprompted, went to either therapy or read a couple of books about how to deal with chaotic situations, and you didn't take it out on me, it will your head will spin with how fast I would put a ring on your finger, he says.
Yeah, I know. He's like, you won't have to wait any time at all. And she's like, all right, shit, I'll figure it out. Like, this is not who I've been historically. This is not who I am. She starts crying. And I'm like, it is kind of crazy that before our very eyes, she just got betrayed on the highest level. And I still believe that she really didn't see it coming. Like, obviously, Lenny was very rich and she was what one might consider a classic trophy wife, but she was like going down with the ship with Lenny. Like, she was like in it to win it with him, I think.
Me too. She loved him so much. Her eyes would just light up. It was almost like a cartoon with little heart eyes whenever she saw Lenny. She was completely enamored with him, and she couldn't tell that he was pulling away, like when he didn't want to take baths with her, or it was sad for Lisa. I'm glad that Jody at least, because Lisa does say a great Lisa thing was, she was like, if you don't want to be with me forever, then let me go now, Jody. And he goes, well, quite possibly I will want to be with you forever. I wanted to ask you, do you like Jody?
I don't not like him.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah. I think I don't think that there's some like weird secret around the corner with him. I'm kind of like, he seems like generally nice.
Yeah, and Larsa tried to toss up a bait for us, and she was like, he controls her. He takes 20%. It's like, yeah, I'm sure he just helps with managing her various enterprises because he's organized and he likes doing it, and he loves Lisa. They've been trying to sort of paint him as a villain, but obviously Bravo doesn't care enough to like make that part of the storyline because they're moving forward. Okay, now we are back at Art Basel, right?
Yeah. They immediately introduce what is turning out to be the issue of the episode and beyond, is that Adriana's birthday cake on the cruise with the math on it. Everyone is bringing it up. It's feels a little produced where they're like, who did the cake? Do you know who did the cake? That was crazy about the cake. And I'm like, it's really not that interesting, but apparently we need this because like 5 different people bring it up in the course of 15 minutes.
That's how I felt too. It was like a Miami producer said, nothing conflict-wise is going on in Art Basel. What about that math equation that was on Adriana's cake? Could we talk about that? And Adriana is not really that interested. She kind of derails this by the end of it and says, I don't give a shit about the math on that cake. I want to talk about how I was accused of being racist by Kiki.
That was insane. I was like, we do not need to go back to that at all. Because it's like, okay, if you don't care about the cake that much, then whatever. And they find out that Kiki's the one that did the cake, which it felt like a little bit of a, not a language barrier, but like it didn't even think about what it implied. She was trying to say like, it's not the age, it's like a math equation. Like she was saying like, it was like a obfuscation. Like, you won't even be able to figure out the age because of all the math.
Yeah, that's what it totally was. It was like, it was, she goes, her favorite age is 32. At this point, Kiki did not have ill will towards Adriana. She had gotten over that little blip. So she said her favorite age was 32, which Adriana said was 45, but she thought it was 32, times 2. And then what do I do with that lingering amount of age that's there, minus 5? But everybody, Larsa cares about this much more than everyone else. And like you said, it comes out of nowhere. It's like, why do you care, Larsa? This isn't, and that's the rest. I mean, the episode is really just getting to the bottom of that. Who did it? There's an attempt for Julia to try to reconcile with Adriana at a certain point, which doesn't go very well.
Yeah, she's like, when I see, because Larsa, I think, is a little bit lit, and she's hugging up on Lisa, and Julia's like, when I see you two hugging, I miss hugging up on Adriana, who used to be my closest friend, and then, it immediately goes sideways when they try and talk, and Julia's like, trying to defend the Kiki cake stuff, and then she gets pissed at Adriana and is like, you're so hard to be around, you're so negative, you're not fun anymore. And it basically immediately, somehow Adriana goes, I don't understand how it happened, but she immediately brings up the ratchet thing, and you're like, no.
Yeah, so here's, I think, what happened with Adriana. She believes that there is a storyline that is going to be included in the edit, that language she used had that connotation. And even though Kiki didn't at all, it's almost like she is rectifying something that didn't need to be rectified and overdoing it to the point where now she looks even more guilty. That's kind of what everybody's saying at this point. They're like, Adriana, let it lie. Kiki never accused you of being racist once, but Adriana believes that she's going to get canceled when this season comes out. So she even is going to lengths to like ask her friends if they deem that to be racist. And then at one point she still tries to pretend that it was wretched, but she goes, I said wretched, but is ratchet a bad thing to say?
I know. I was like, why are you talking about the validity of ratchet being racist if you are just holding firm that you said wretched? And she doubles down by saying, I speak British English.
Which we're like, well, point taken, I guess. But then when then Adriana confronts Kiki, and it is like, what are you talking about? Like, this wasn't included in the edit that we saw. Kiki was shocked that this word was used against her, and it definitely pissed Kiki off to the point where she called you old. But I don't think she ever accused Adriana of being racist, at least that we saw. So Kiki's like, I never said you were racist on camera or off camera. And Kiki leaves to where no one knows where she is. She like leaves set to just go out into the night, and Julia like tries to chase after her, but you don't see Kiki again after that accusation is made.
I know. It's almost implied that she asks a Amazon delivery driver for a ride home.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what was going on there. It was like she was asking anybody to pick her up and take her home.
Yeah, I was like, did she get in the Amazon van?
And Julia comes up and screaming, and she goes, Kiki is gone, and I don't know where she went. She just completely disappeared. And then Adriana says, Julia, you're supposed to be my best friend. Why did you go after Kiki? And Julia goes, you are I realize that you're not fun anymore, and that you have a negative vibe, and there are a lot of red flags. And they have a montage of her defending Kiki or Adriana for a really long time, and then now she's like kind of refusing to back up Adriana because she thinks this thing that Adriana is talking about right now is indicative of Adriana's overall negative energy, and Julia didn't want
Right.
any part of it anymore.
Yeah. There was also a conversation we skipped over that it ended with it was Stephanie and Marisol, and by the end they make up. They talk about the private jet thing again, and it ends fine, but I'm sure there will be more where that came from because Stephanie narcs out Alexia to Marisol. So I'm not sure if there will be a Alexia Marisol conversation, but it is the finale next week, and there's that Christmas bazaar party, I think.
Is it Stephanie's Christmas Bazaar?
I think so.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. Did you see anything that resonated with you in that preview for next week?
I'm trying to remember. It didn't seem to have a ton going on.
Me neither. Do you think that this was maybe going to be the finale, and then they were like, I think we need to have another week of filming? Because there was a desperation, a little bit of them trying to like resolve things and talk about the cake. And it was also episode 16, which sometimes bad seasons of Bravo end at 16, but now they're getting an extra episode. I don't know what happened, but like you said, the cake thing seemed very producer driven.
Yeah.
What are they talking about? Was this a good season of Miami? Do we take it with a grain of salt? Is it just fun to be in these people's presence and let them do whatever the hell they want?
Yeah.
I don't know. Those are all questions we ask ourselves every week.
As we chug along.
Yeah. Okay. Did we? I think we. You have to say we recapped 2 episodes and did news, right?
It's true. I think Salt Lake, that was the other day. I think that's going to get better as we go and infuse some energy. And then I hope Orange County gets a little better, but Miami's on its way out.
Miami's almost done. We're going to be saying goodbye. We don't know what's coming in its place. We have no clue. But we just know that no matter what, Fridays, Turtle Time Fridays is just essential to the conversation, and it's vital that you all keep paying attention every single Friday to Turtle Time, right? I mean,
you don't want to miss it.
Yeah, I've got something special I want to do really quick before we end our episode. I want to honor 3 people. They say good things come in threes. They say three's company. They say the golden number is 3. And I concur with all of those assessments of the number 3 because we have 3 new Lisa's Boudoir members. We've talked about this tier. It is a very special tier in which it's $25 a month. It's one of the best tiers on Patreon that anyone offers. And it's sort of just like a way that Amy and I can cherish people for the rest of their lives, internally, and also sometimes vocally by saying their names.
Yes.
When they first arrive.
Yeah, these people can be completely self-righteous. They know that they're doing the right thing and supporting. It's like, you could support PBS, you could support NPR, you could support Turtle Time.
Yeah. It's just as like I already said, it's just as vital as those institutions. And so I want to give a special shout out to Kelsey Little, who just joined. The Lisa's Boudoir people are in the sort of the hypothetical Lisa's Boudoir of Villa Rosa, and that's where you get all of the beautiful, like, secret, world that you have access to. So Kelsey Little is in Lisa's Boudoir with us. Alyssa is in Lisa's Boudoir with us, and then Amy, who's that last Lisa's Boudoir we want to shout out?
Tracy.
Oh my God, thank you.
Welcome.
Tracy.
Kelsey, Alyssa, and Tracy. Love you.
Thank you all so much for being Lisa's Boudoir. I mean, we can't thank you enough for being a part of that special tier. Lisa's Boudoir tier members get a little quick video of gratitude once a month from Amy and I, which we have yet to do, but we're definitely going to do that before the month is out. And then we love all of our Villa Rosa VIPs and cherish them all the same. So thank you all so much. If you want to be a part of that program, there are 3 different tiers now. A $6 tier, which is where you get your Vanderpump Rules recap series. And then there's a $10 tier where Amy and I recap a movie once a month.
Yep, and you get the regular shows ad-free. And then, yes, the boudoir where you get all of the above, but also the magic in your heart of knowing that you're keeping us afloat. We love every single one, even the $1 or the $0. Thanks for listening, because we make money that way too.
Oh, I love Turtle Time listeners that don't even pay. Yes, the $0 too. And there was a couple tip jar people, the dollar people. Oh my God. We love everybody,
Yeah.
right?
Thanks for listening. Can't believe it still that you enjoy our words.
Yeah, there's some good words, especially this week, especially this episode specifically. All right, well, let's leave this week on a high note
Yes.
right now, and there's nothing else to really say. We'll be back next week with 2 beautiful episodes and our Monday Vanderpump Rules recap for Patreon listeners.
Love ya. Bye.
Bye!